Rabbil Alameen wa salatu wa salamu ala nabiyyina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa azwajihi ajma'in. Amma ba'd, fa'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbi zidni ilman ajma'in inshallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase in all of us knowledge. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Brothers and sisters, we will again continue where we left yesterday, so that you get to know Amar very well, inshallah. Now, Amar, fi'lu Amar, has got 6 forms, and those are the forms of Mukhatab. Okay, brothers and sisters, second person. What are they, brothers and sisters? Anta, Antuma, Antum, Anti, Antuma, Antunna. The person who's in front of you, you give an command to him or request. Both are there. Request and command. Okay? And Fi'l Amr is used all the time in du'as. So in du'as, we do not command Allah. We request Allah. We beseech Allah. So we have to understand that imperative means command as well as request. Okay, brothers and sisters? Now, Fi'l Amr is made from Fi'l Mudari'a. It means you start from Madi, come to Mudari'a. You must know your Mudari'a very well in order to know your Amr. You cannot jump from Madi to Amr. Okay. So when we go to Mudari'a, we look at the verb. And you will always see, of course, in the beginning, Alamatu Mudari'a. Sahi? There is Alamatu Mudari'a there. And we will always keep in mind the first radical, second radical, and third radical. Always, always, always. Even in Amar, we will keep that in mind. Okay, brothers and sisters. Now, taktubu. Okay. In order to make Amar, I don't need Alamatu Mudari'a. So I have to remove it. Okay. If I remove that, brothers and sisters, and at the same time, I have to give sukoon here. Sahi? What is the result? There is a result which I cannot pronounce. Are you with me? Can you pronounce this? No. You cannot have in the beginning of a word, Arabic word, a sukoon. You cannot pronounce it. So I got a result which I cannot pronounce. Now how do I get by this difficulty? How do I bypass this difficulty? So I bring Hamza. Okay? I bring Hamza. Now this Hamza, brothers and sisters, is needed in order to pronounce. Okay? Now, what kind of a vowel sign shall I give? So then we learn that if the Ain Kalima is a Dhamma, then you give Dhamma to Hamzatul Wasal. So I give a Dhamma now. What is now? Uktub. If the Ain Kalima is not Dhamma, something else, then we will give Kasra. Remember, we are doing 3-letter verbs. We will give Kasra. That's it, that's the rule. No Fatah. Okay? And remember, it is Hamzatul Wasal. So do not place the sign of Hamzatul Qata on it. It will be wrong to write like this. it will be wrong to write like this, uktub, or look at it, ijlis. That is wrong. That is wrong. Because the Hamza of Amar is Hamzatul Wasal. If there is nothing in front of it, we will pronounce it. If there is anything in front of it, then it is written but not pronounced. So if I say to you, I did not put any sign. Now you know, Kara'a, Yakra'u, Takra'u, so Amar will be Ikra. Second radical as a Fatha, the Hamza will get a Kasra. So how will you pronounce? Ikra and Waqtu. Are you with me? You cannot say Ikra wa Uktu. No, it's Hamzatul Wasal. Now most of the time, you will not see any vowel sign on Hamzatul Wasal. But sometimes, if you want to pronounce it, then you will only say like this. But you won't put the sign of Hamzatul Qata. That will be wrong. Because once you get used to it, you won't need any vowel signs. You will be able to read without vowel signs. Are you with me, brothers and sisters? So, that is our first form, Uktub. Okay? Now, Tajlisu. What will be the Amar from Tajlisu? We remove Ta. We give a sukoon here. And then it becomes Can you pronounce it? No. So I bring Hamza. Now what vowel sign shall I give? Kasra. Because the Ain Kalima is, second radical is Kasra. Okay? Yeah. Because, Sister Maynas, if you will see the Arabic newspapers, there are no vowel signs. Because once you have enough vocabs in your mind, then your mind will figure out the word in the text. For example, you read Urdu newspaper, are there any vowel signs? How do you know how to read it? Because you know the vocabs, most of them. So you can figure out. So it will be ijlis. And tazhabu, brothers and sisters, I have to give out ta here. Okay, so it is, now I have to bring Hamza. What vowel sign shall I give? Kasra. That's all. If the Ain Kalima is Dhamma, Hamza of the Amar gets a Dhamma. If it is not Dhamma, it's Kasra. Never Fatah. Are you with me? Now, remember, Fi'l Amr is Mabni, but it is Mabni in the form of being Majzoom. Okay, that is why it ends with a Sukoon. Fine, brothers and sisters. So if it is the first form, or if it is the last form, brothers and sisters, what will you say in describing it? Fi'lu Amrin Mabniun ala Sukoon. Are you with me? Are you with me? This is what you will write down if it is the Anta or Antunna. Because in Antunna, brothers and sisters, it will become is Habna. Where is the verb? Where is the verb? Izhab. That is your verb. And what is this? This is your file. So in these two cases, you will always describe it like fi'lu amrin mabniun ala sukun. And in the rest, what do you see at the end? Noon. And noon, brothers and sisters, we are going to learn, and I will be repeating it many times. Noon, when you see the noon in fi'l mudariya, it is the sign that the fi'l mudariya is marfu. The fi'l mudariya is marfu. What is the sign of marfu? What is the sign of marfu in taktubu? Dhamma at the end. Are you with me? Do you see dhamma at the end? Now it changed into sukun. So dhamma was the sign that the fi'l mudariya was, or fi'l mudariya is marfu. And the sukun is the sign that the fi'l mudariya is majzoom. But what about these noon? Remember, if you see the noon in fi'l mudariya, then it is marfu. And if you don't see the noon in fi'l mudariya, then either it is majzoom or it is mansoob. But right now we are learning fi'l amr, so it is majzoom. I will be explaining you a lot. You will inshallah become expert in this. Now, how do I describe the next one? Sister Amuna, one thing. Let us do it. Let's do the whole thing, then you ask me again. How will I describe this now, sister? Are you with me? I drop the noon. Now I have to bring Hamza. And it will still be Are you with me? What's the word now? Uktuba means two of you write. Are you with me? So how will I describe Uktuba? Fi'lu amrin mabniun ala hadfi noon. Hadfi noon. Did you hadfi? Hazafa, to drop. Brother? Hadfi means dropping. Brother Abdul Samad, do you see? Hazafi is to drop. Hazafa is the verb. What is the verb, brothers and sisters? To drop. Or to omit. Are you with me? So, fi'lu amrin mabniun ala hazfi noon. See, uktuba is mabni ala hazfi noon. What did you do? You dropped the noon. Sahi. Now here it will become uktubu. Are you with me? How will you describe? Fi'lu amrin mabniun ala hadfi noon. And then uktubi. How will you describe? Fi'lu amrin mabniun ala hadfi noon. Again, the next one. Uktuba, same. Fi'lu amrin mabniun ala hadfi noon. And then in the end, uktubna. How will you describe this? Fi'lu amrin mabniun ala sukun. Because where is your verb? This is your verb. Sahi? And it ends with a sukun. Do you see? Now, brothers and sisters, Wherever there is a verb, there is a file. Wherever there is a verb, there is a file. So where is the file in uktub? Mustatir. Mustatir. What will you say? Uktub. How will you describe it? Fi'lu amrin mabniun ala sukun. Al-fa'ilu damirun mustatirun takdiruhu anta. Takdiruhu anta. Are you with me? Takdiruhu anta. Fine. How will you describe the next one? Uktuba fi'lu amrin mabniun ala adfi nun al-fa'ilu al-alifu. You will say aliful musanna. Alif of musanna. Al-fa'ilu alifu musanna. Are you with me? Now, how will you describe the next one? Uktubu fi'lu amrin mabniun ala hadfi nun al-fa'ilu al-waw. Al-waw jama. You will say waw al-jama. Waw of jama, or you will say waw. Fine. Next one. Uktubi fi'lu amrin mabniun ala hadfi nun al-fa'ilu yaw. Ya. Al-yaw. Al-fa'ilu al-yaw. Okay? Are you with me? Now, how will you say that? Taktuba is same as we did it. Taktubna will become uktubna. Fi'lu amrin mabniun ala sukun. And then fa'il noon. Al-noon. There is little more to be learned in this, which we will learn later on. Whatever we are showing you, it's the surface. Then we got to dive deep into the ocean. But I'm sure, brothers and sisters, you are going to love it when we go in details. You will like it, inshallah. By that time, you will become very strong, inshallah. Sister Maimuna, you had a question, sister? No. No, you know why you are not dropping that noon? Because that noon is a fire. In all these things, that noon was the sign of rafa. What was it? The sign of it's being marfu. Now you have to get used to raf, nasab and rafa. Because you say in harfu tawkidin wa nasbin. Are you with me? So marfu, the master is raf'un. When you say raf'un means marfu. Nasbun means mansub. And jarrun means majrur. So Sister Maimuna, you got a very good question, because people do get confused here. Remember, these noons, taktubani, taktubuna, taktubina, taktubani, that noon is the sign of fi'l mudari'a being marfu. Now, you drop that noon, then fi'l mudari'a is no longer marfu. Now it is majzoom. Because amar is majzoom, but it is mabni. Never changes. It will never change. Okay? Now, this is where our division of fi'l mudari'a comes. Yes. No. It's fine. That is why there is little more to be learned. And I don't want to say that. I don't want to say now, because I want to tell you when the time is right. How do you say tazhabna is marfu? How do you say tazhabna is mansub? And how do you say tazhabna is majzoom? I will explain you later on. Because there is something to be said about that. Huh? It is not right to go in that much detail. Huh? But inshallah, very soon, Sister Maimuna, we will learn how to describe the Mabni form. How to describe. If anything is Mabni, how do you describe it from the grammar point of view? We have to learn it. And inshallah, we will learn very soon. Now, I come back, brothers and sisters, for simplicity. We divided the 14 forms of Fi'l Mudari' into 3 groups. Are you with me? What is the first group? 5 in your pocket. I hope you will remember. And you will say it. 5 in your pocket. What are those, brother? Kataba yaktubu. Yaktubu, taktubu, taktubu, aktubu, naktubu. It's very simple. And in all of them, you see Dhamma at the end. So what is that Dhamma telling you? The Fi'l Mudari' is marfu. Sahih, brother. So that is one group. The second group is Noon aata hai, Noon jata hai. The Noon comes and Noon goes. When the Noon comes, the Fi'l Mudari' is marfu. And when the Noon goes away, the Fi'l Mudari' is majzoom or mansoob. We are going to learn again. And then the third form of Mudari' is Mabni. When it is Mabni, we will learn how to describe it in grammar. It never changes. It remains same when it is marfu. It remains same when it is mansoob. It remains same when it is majzoom. What are those 2 forms? Hunna and antunna. Are you with me? Hunna and antunna. There is a noon at the end. But that noon is fa'il. And in all other, noon aata hai, noon jata hai, the noon is not fa'il. The fa'il is either alif or waw or ya. Are you with me, brothers and sisters? I told you in our class, there is a very nice brother, his name is Mubin. So when you write it, it's Mubinun. Are you with me? He's I think 3rd year student at York University. MashaAllah, he comes. But sometimes he doesn't come. So I asked Brother Yaqub, I said, where is Mubin? What did he say? Brother Asif, Noon aata hai, Noon jata hai. Because it ended with Noon. So he comes and then he goes away. So you will remember, this is a very, fun way of learning Fi'l Mudari'. Divided into 3 groups. What is the first group? 5 in your pocket. What is the second group? Noon aata hai, Noon jata hai. And what is the third group? Mabni. Mabni. And I told you in our last class, we had a sister from Nigeria, Rashida, a brilliant student, and she hardly knows any, she doesn't know any Urdu, but she memorized this. And she used to say very sweetly, Noon aata hai, Noon jata hai. Okay? Now we are going to learn later on more, inshallah. Are you with me, brothers and sisters? Now, tajlisu, tajlisani, tajlisuna, tajlisina, tajlisani, tajlisna. How do you make amar? Ijlis, ijlisa, ijlisu, ijlisi, ijlisa, ijlisna. Khalas. Are you with me? Now, what will you do with tazhabu? Izhab, izhaba, izhabu, izhabi, izhaba, izhabna. Now, you see the sheets that you have been given? Now you will fill these 3 columns. Madi, Mudari' and Amr. Brothers and sisters, during the holidays, that page 6 should be completed. Are you with me? Inshallah. This will make you very strong so that I can show you some other verbs. And if you master this, brother, then when we come to weak verbs, which are a little tricky, you will have no problem. You will be able to do it. And this knowledge will make book 3 very enjoyable and easy for you, inshallah. Now I should tell you 2 verbs. Actually there are 3, but we will only concentrate on 2, in which the amar does not follow the regular form. It does not follow the regular form. And we will have to memorize that. Are you with me, brothers and sisters? What is this, brother? Ta'akulu. It is coming from akala. He ate. Yakulu, he eats. Are you with me? Okay. How do you make amar? Don't try to make it. Don't try to make it. There is a different form of amar. And what is that? Kul. What is the amar? Kul. So how do you now conjugate? Kul, kula, kulu, kuli, kula, kulna, kulna. Are you with me? Now this does not follow the same rule as this, because it should follow. Remember? It should follow the same rule. It becomes we do not give Hamza here. In fact, the whole form is changed and it became Kul. What is the meaning of Kul? Eat. Are you with me? So you will remember and memorize it. For akala yakulu, the amar is Kul. And just like kala. But kala is done properly. Kala is done properly. We will learn that. Only these 2 are not normal. Are you with me? One of this and the other is, brother and sister, akhaza. What is the mudari of akhaza? It is bab nasara. Akhaza ya'khudhu. Are you with me? What is the amar? Khuz. What is the amar, brother? Instead of from the ta'khudhu, you don't do the normal way, and you do khuz. You do khuz. So if I say khuz, that is for masculine. What will I say to sister? Khuzi. If you write khuzi, okay, if you say khuz, how will I describe khuz? Fi'lu amr, mabniun ala sukun. What will this be? Khuzi, fi'lu amr, mabniun ala hazbi noon. Because it is ta'khuzina. What is it? Ta'khuzina. Now, khuz, where is the file? Mustatir. Taqdiruhu anta. Where is the file in khuzi? Al-yaw. The file is al-yaw. Will you remember, inshallah? So this is it, brothers and sisters. And now you have the sheets. Do it, all of it. And even the test paper that you have been given, there are 4 conjugations, and you will do it, amar also in that. Madi, Mudariya, and amar. Now, brothers and sisters, as I had told you last time, are you with me, brothers and sisters? Dakhala, Mudariya is yadkhulu. Can we conjugate? Yadkhulu, yadkhulani, yadkhuluna, hiya, tadkhulu, tadkhulani, hunna, yadkhulna, anta, tadkhulu, tadkhulani, tadkhuluna, anti, tadkhulina, tadkhulani, antunna, tadkhulna, ana, adkhulu, nahnu, nadkhulu. Got the idea? Inshallah, you know it. Huh? Then, raja'a, bab, daraba. Raja'a is bab, daraba. Raja'a, yarji'u. Raja'a, yarji'u. So, brothers and sisters, yarji'u, yarji'ani, yarji'una, hiya, tarji'u, tarji'ani, hunna, yarji'ana, hunna, yarji'ana, anta, tarji'u, tarji'ani, tarji'una, anti, tarji'ina, tarji'ani, antunna, tarji'na, ana, arji'u, nahnu, narji'u. You will remember that, inshallah. Fine, brothers and sisters. Udkhul, fi'lu amrin, mabniyun ala sukun, fa'ilu, damirun, mustatirun, takdiruhu anta. Udkhuli, fi'lu amrin, mabniyun ala hadfi nun, fa'iluhu al-ya'u, fa'iluhu al-ya'u. Then irji, fi'lu amrin, mabniun ala sukun, fa'iluhu damirun, mustatirun, takdiruhu anta. Irji'i, fi'lu amrin, mabniun ala hadfi nun, fa'iluhu al-ya'u. Are you with me, brothers and sisters? Very good. There are many rules. There are many rules which we haven't learned, so I won't be going in detail. The same thing we will do again in book 3 when we learn more rules. But I'll try to explain some. If you can understand, alhamdulillah. If you do not grasp it 100%, don't worry, we will be repeating it. Ya. What is ya? That we know. Harfun nida. What is it? Harfun nida. This is how you will be able to understand Quran thoroughly. Brothers and sisters, you only have to do once. Only once. Then it remains in your mind. Then when you hear it, you understand it. What's going on? Ya, what is ya? Harfun nida. If there is harfun nida, there has to be munada. The one who has been called. Munada. Okay? We are going to learn how munada is made out of the verb. Everything we are going to learn. Arabic is so fascinating and so beautiful and so logic. You can go down to the root. It's not so in English language. The roots are different than what you see the word. Because they are all coming from Latin and Greek. So it's not very easy. But in Arabic, it's fun. What is it, brother? It's fun to go to roots and understand. Ya, harfunida. Where is munada? Ayyatu. Ayyatu is your munada. Okay? And then what is ha? No. Ha is called harfu tanbih. Harfu tanbih. As I said, we are going to learn. I'm only telling you. Harfu tanbih. Tanbih is to bring someone to attention. Later on we'll learn in detail. I don't want to go in detail now. Okay. What is an-nafsu? Okay. An-nafsu, here the scholars describe it as a naat for ayyatu. What is ayyatu? No, it's a munada. So an-nafsu is your naat for ayyatu. Okay? Because as I said to you, we are going to learn all these things in detail later on. I'm just telling you, just on top of it. You know? And an-nafsu mutma'innatu. Naat for nafsu. That is very simple. We are going to learn how this mutma'innatu was made. How was it constructed? We are going to learn later on. Now we know it. Brothers and sisters, no vowel sign. But you know it is Raja, Yarji'u, Irji. You will know it. But if you are not sure, then we can write a kasra. Are you with me? Irji'i. Okay, irji'i. What is irji'i? Now you will say fi'lu amrin mabniun ala hazfi noon. And where is the file? Ya is the file. Brothers and sisters, this is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying to the nafs. Inshallah, we will all hear this from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala personally when we will be standing in front of Him on Yawmul Qiyamah. And we will be able to see Him on that day. Right now we cannot see Him. But Yawmul Qiyamah, you will be able to see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to address us. Inshallah. We'll be one of those. Okay? Irji'i ila harf jar. Harf jar? Isam majrur. So where is Isam majrur? Rabbi. Wa huwa mudaf. And ki mudaf. Got the idea, brothers and sisters? Now, next time you don't have to analyze, because when you see ila rabbiki, you know in your mind what went in the sentence. And then if someone asks you, then you can easily say ila harf jar, rabbi ism majrur, wa huwa mudaf, and ki mudaf ilayh, rabbiki. Now radiyatan, mardiyatan, what do you see? Mansub. So what can it be? We haven't learned many things. What we have learned so far, mafulun bihi and tamiz. And mafulun mutlaq, we have got some idea. None of these. It is none of this. This is called hal. Do you know the hal? What is the meaning of hal? Condition. What is the meaning of hal? Condition. What do you say? Hal kaisa hai janab ka? Kya khayal hai aapka? Are you with me? Are you with me? So this is hal. This is hal. Hal number 1 and hal number 2. We are going to learn later on, brothers and sisters. This will come in book 3. Remember one thing. Every time I ponder over book 2, 3, even book 1, brothers and sisters, I just can't help but admire Dr. Abdul Rahim's vision. You know, in no other books you will find things like what Abdul Rahim is showing us. Tamiz, hal, mafulun mutlaq, they will all come in its own dars. And each dars is 8-10 pages. And in that, Dr. Abdul Rahim, step by step, will explain us what is hal, how it is used, what is tamiz, how it is used, and what is mafulun mutlaq. And they are all lesson number 29, 30, 31 in book 3. But we will be preparing ourselves for that slowly. So they come with full lessons in which you learn in detail everything, inshallah, and you will enjoy it, inshallah. Okay, irji'i ila rabbiki radiyatan mardiyatan. So radiyatan is hal, mardiyatan is also all. Fadkhuli, what is fa? Ataf. So what is the fi'al amr? Udkhuli. Are you with me? But it became fadkhuli. Why? Because hamzatul wasal. If something comes before it, it is written but not pronounced. So it became fadkhuli. So fa ataf, and what is udkhuli? Fi'lu amrin mabniun ala hadfi noon, and the fa'iluhu al-yaw. Fadkhuli fi ibadi. Fi harf jar, ibadi ism majroor, wa huwa mudaf, ya mutakallam mudaf ilayhi. Got the idea, brothers and sisters? Now, there are still more things to be learned about dakhala yadkhulu. In some cases, now again I'm just telling you in general, it will come in book 3, brother. In general, I'm telling you that dakhala can have a direct maf'ulun bihi. Are you with me? Dakhala Muhammadun al-masjidah. Al-masjidah, direct maf'ulun bihi came. Muhammad entered the masjid. Are you with me? When I say dakhala Muhammadun al-masjidah, or if I say dakhalat Aminatu al-masjidah. So you can see al-masjidah coming as a direct maf'ulun bihi. But no harf jar or nothing. But if I say that William or any other name, I can say entered Islam. So I will say dakhala Williamu fil Islam. Are you with me? Or if there is another lady, say Nancy, I will say dakhalat Nancy fil Islam. Why? What happened? Dakhala is there. So what is the general rule? I will just tell you if you can understand. Alhamdulillah, otherwise it will be repeated. When you enter something and that place is like a masjid or a house or a garden, a specified place, then it will come as a direct maf'ulun bihi. But if it is not a specific place like house, garden, or masjid, or a classroom, or a school, if it is an idea, okay, it is an abstract thing, then you will have to bring harf jar. So Islam is not a specific physical thing. Are you with me? So in that case, you will use harf jar. Now, where do we learn all these things? Quran is the source of Arabic grammar. Are you with me? Quran is the source, complete, original source of Arabic grammar. Whether you are a Muslim or a Christian or a Jew, if Arabic happens to be your mother tongue, then your source of language and grammar is Quran, brother. Is Quran.